So before we can do anything else, we gotta go talk to Solus, now that we've finished that main mission. And then after that, I'm sure every single one of our companions is gonna want to talk before we can even go do another quest. That's just how it seems to be. But you know what? I like these old conversations. They're kind of nice. They give you an insight into Solus and like what's going on. And I mean, he did help us. He did try and help us there. So not a bad thing. Curious what he's going to say about Elgernon.
The Dalish prisoners.
Everything that happened.
Escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. I do not know how you have found your dealings with the Dalish. Whatever my frustrations with them, it was a privilege to be able to help our people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elgernon was a reminder of simpler times.
Oh, what do I got here? You really hate Elgernon. You dislike the Dalish? That's a good question.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I'm betting you argued. Like worshipping Elgernon. There we go.
I suspect them calling Elgernon and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elgernon. Though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You really hate Elgernon.
You and Elgernon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elgernon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now. Heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind. And you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
You're like angry brothers. You're both prideful. That's very true. I'm gonna go with that one.
The two of you are too much alike. Both of you want to be in charge.
I have no desire to be in charge.
No, you just want to be able to correct anyone who's not doing everything the way you would have done it.
I see you have been observing me as well during these conversations.
All right. I can see how you and Elgernon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Yeah. Thanks for the help.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elgernon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elgernon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool.
Beg your pardon?
Team. I was wrong.
Oh, you have earned the respect of the Dreadwolf. Damn right we have. I mean, we've worked hard and we've not let him run over us. We've pushed back on him pretty heavily. That had to be hard to say. Surprising to hear. Or yep, that had to be hard to say.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it. but being afraid to change. Elganan's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
What about the Inquisitor?
What about the Inquisitor? Does he not count as a friend?
He was useful. But there were others I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. Cole, a spirit of compassion, I helped adapt to our new world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
Okay. Interesting. Good chat, though. He's being less confrontational.
Recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elgernon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Yeah, job's still the same. Can't let Thetis fall.
Okay. We always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thetis falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
What about Venatori? How about the Veil Jumpers? That's with that one.
Did the Veil Jumpers find any traces of where Elganan and his archdemon went?
No. Venatori started swarming the area right after we left, and they had to leave.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
So we have options?
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Oh, cool.
Right. With everything he's been doing in the south, we owe him an update.
I'll let him know.
Good fighting, team.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up. And be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, Let's make sure it's the last.
Okay. That feels like we're getting closer to the end of the game, right? Like, maybe we're on the final couple little chapters here. Oh, I hit the button to check that out, and I did not have a chance to hit it fast enough. Okay, wow, yeah, we got quests for days. There's something over there. There's something down over there. Let's look at the map. Like I said, literally everybody except Lucanus wants to talk to us. That's fine. Let's look at our world quests. Treviso. For the love of Treviso, okay. Grey Warden's Final Repose, and Legacies and Legends. And there's also new quests there. Are there new quests in any other area? Of course there is. Wetlands. Not in Arlethan. Not in the Hall of Valor. What about Necropolis? Yeah, there's one there. It's the same thing every time, isn't it? You finish a main quest and suddenly everything pops up again. A letter from the Wetlands. Rook, we've continued to study changes in the Blight. Our latest findings are very interesting and disturbing. We can't let this spread continue. We'll catch you up in the next time. We'll catch you up the next time you're in the Wetlands. Antoine. Cool. All right, we got a thing here. Message from Minrathos. Rook, we heard the wonderful news coming out of Arlethan. You're doing, we're told. I see. The Venatori are still reeling from their failure, and Dorian's caught wind of some of their most recent plans. Drop by the shop when you can. Navaris. Alright, let's go chat with Emmerich first. Then we'll hit up Tash just to get her out of the way here. I'm not really sure what they all want to talk about, but they're going to give me quests, I think.
Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far.
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
Okay, cool. So this is going to be the
Professor
wrap-up of all
asked
these
us to
missions.
research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
That's dangerous and dumb.
I never studied necromancy into Vinter, but isn't that stupidly dangerous?
Johanna is, unfortunately, skilled enough to make an attempt, but we've found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
Maybe that's healthy.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're closing in, though. We're closing in on the end. I can feel it now. All of these are the wrapping up of all these quests. Destination available. And that's good, right? It's good to have these things wrap up and be done, so that way we can actually hit the end of the game. I suspect the end quest will be really long.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know.
Okay, moving on. The end of her quest feels very anticlimactic. Like, you know, Emmerich's over here being like, I'm gonna try to become a lich and I'm taking out this enemy with me. Balara is like, I gotta help my brother who's been corrupted by this, you know, this evil thing. Tash is like, I'm gonna talk to my mom.
That's not good. Not even a little bit.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes talking to your parents, difficult.
We have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did. And it's big. Really, really big. Arlathan big, maybe.
You sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
Can we stop them?
Okay. So how do we stop that from happening?
I don't know. Hope the ritual's just started? We might be able to stop it if they haven't gotten very far.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time.
Her stance that whole time looked like she was about to tackle me. It's very odd. Through the shadows. Did I ever get any more? No. Ah, man, we still got way more than that. 1,600 left. That's fine. We're getting there. We're getting there. It'd be nice to pop those final upgrades. I think that'll probably be the last time that we increase his power.
The last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Of course you found it. And you were worried.
A bit early for the past tense.
So, where is this place?
The Mirathas Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alias haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
How are you feeling?
Are you ready?
Not much of a choice. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So, what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.
Okay, so she's got a couple steps left, it looks like. Don't have to talk to Lucanus, right? Lucanus did not want to chat. Just double check. Yep. Hit a dapper and then hit a parting, and then we're done here. We can actually like take off and get some of these started. I might do Arlathan first. Not expecting there to be a lot of side quests there in this like chapter. It'll probably just be Bilara's thing.
Rook, Evka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.
Cool. It seems like he has a couple steps left, right? Gotta get there, find out where she is, and then the next quest will be going and freeing the rest of the Griffins, maybe? They're probably all dead. I have no hope on that one. And Harding's gonna be like, sup dog, it's pretty cool being the person I am. Or something like that.
What's shaping?
What's shaping? Wow.
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow. Just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it, and all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there, and that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
I know you would have done the same for me.
You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. And yes, if you ever need me like I needed you, I will be there. That is my promise to you. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. Do you think he can be helped?
Varric tried to talk sense into him. And look how that ended. Even the Inquisitor thinks he's too far gone, and we're past the point of talking. But part of me doesn't want to believe it. Because it means that there's a point when you have to give up on someone. It means you could have given up on me.
It's deep. Also, I like her little wooden shoes. I just noticed that. She's got little wooden moccasins. Returning to the stone. Harding's thoughts scribbled in the margins of her journal. Then say we return to the stone after death. In Orzammar, only those laid to rest with the proper rites get to return to the stone, and the privilege of a good burial is reserved for the upper crates or castes. No luck for the castless or surfacers, projected by the stone, they say. But I'm a surfacer. The stone, whatever it is, hasn't rejected me. But if we do return to the stone, every single one of us, why can't I sense the others that have passed? Man, she's going hyper philosophical on her thoughts there, and I like it. Let's talk about that. That sounds fun. All right, so we got his thing there. We got quests down there. We gotta do the Arlethan quest, which I think is what I'm gonna do. So I just looked it up during that conversation, and we're on chapter. What did it say? According to this list, we're on chapter 11. There's 12 and 13 left. Both of those are fairly short. So, yeah, I'm kind of dead on with saying that we're pretty close to just being done with this whole thing. I can appreciate that. I think what I do is I go do Bells. So we go to Ballara's, then maybe we hit up like Emmerich's thing or just some of these other like random side quests, like maybe going chatting to her mom. I mean, maybe I'd just do that now. Actually, I kind of feel like this is an easy one. Let's go do this. And then we'll see where we're at.
Your mother learned something new about the tablet?
Haven't talked to her since the big fight at dinner. Hey, we're here.
She's been taken.
Mother? Tama?
Bueller?
Get Isabella.
It might not be hers.
You think I don't know what my mother's blood smells like? Get Isabella. Tell her to find Cutter. Tama.
No sign of your mother. Cutter's gone too.
He was here. I caught his scent. He took her.
Cutter. The little piece of crap who wanted to fight a dragon. What's he want with Tasha's mother?
There were letters from the Dragon King in his room about your mother and about the tablet.
Since when does the Dragon King want the tablet? He's been after Tash.
The tablet's about Tash, about fire breathers. It's why Shathan's desperate to decode it. In exchange for the tablet and Shathan, the Dragon King will turn Cutter into a fire breather, like you.
That's Vashadan!
Yeah. Tell me about the king.
Isabella, what do you know about the Dragon King?
I know a thing or two about the Antam, but I've never met one like him. He certainly loves dragons.
We know. His Antam were the ones who've been blighting them for the gods.
I mean, he wants to be one. He drinks their blood and everything. Makes sense that he's interested in our Tash.
That's, yeah, weird. You knew about the tablet?
Isabella, you knew the tablet was about fire breathers.
Shathan told me.
And you didn't tell us because...
Wasn't mine to tell. Shathan wanted to tell Tash herself.
Okay, whatever. And then, could he make fire breathers?
Is it actually possible to make Kunari into fire breathers?
No, that's not how it works.
I thought we didn't know how it works.
Doesn't matter if it's true. Cutter believed it enough to take Shathan.
Okay, fine.
Sounds like it's time to pay a visit to the Dragon King.
We found a map in Cutter's room. He's holed up in a dormant volcano to the north. It's full of old mining tunnels. Getting inside might be a challenge.
We'll handle it.
We'll all handle it. Cutter betrayed us. When you go in, the Lords will have your backs.
Oh, cool.
Thanks. Let's go.
Cool. I can appreciate that. Oh, and we're just like going in. Okay. I gotta bring her. Look, she detonates weekends. Let's bring Belle. Let's go, baby. I feel like I wasn't expecting it to just start the quest. I was expecting it to be like, cool, now we can go click on it on the map. But apparently not. Apparently we gotta run over here and start hunting this person down.